Hello, it's Adam Turner here. I'm just going to show you where I'm at with this countries API project I've been working on for a few days, probably a week or so. So yeah, it's a front-end mental challenge, and front-end mental is all about just giving you designs that you've got to work on and implement as a full front-end project. So what I've done is used Next.js, Tailwind and TypeScript for this project. This is the desktop design that they're expecting, and that's what it looks like there. And you've got a mobile view as well, and it also has a dark theme. So quite a bit of bits and pieces there involved, and it all uses the REST countries API. So that's a free API where you can access data on all of the countries in the world without a private key of any kind. So this is my version of it. This is what I've done with Next.js. And I guess it looks pretty much similar to the original design. You've got where in the world at the top there with a header, and then you've got the search component, the filter on the right, and then the rest of it's just a grid of cards. Cool, so this is the grid of cards. I've used infinite scroll, so I've set up infinite scroll using intersection observer. So you can actually just keep scrolling and you'll get more and more country cards until the point that all of the cards have loaded, and then you're just left at the bottom there with the final remaining countries. Cool, so that's about 200 and something countries. You can search, that's what the search component does. That's a React component of its own. You can click on it and you can look at the data based on the United Kingdom, for example, and then click on the border countries, and now I can see stuff about Ireland, which is quite interesting. You can go back and you can filter by region. So I can go Europe, for example. Go on Russia, you'll have a lot of border countries, and we'll go click on China, and you'll again have a lot of border countries. So you can see I can click through the different things, and you're getting the nice views there. Cool, so this is the, I'll show you the home page. This is the home page, and I'm using the use effect hook quite a lot. It's all written in TypeScript, so that's all handled properly. I've got a file actually for interfaces here, so that's all neatly organized. So we know exactly what data types to expect for the individual functions and component, the variables in the components and so on. Cool, so let's have a look. So I fetch all countries on mount, and you can see that I'm using use effects. So when the component mounts, the homepage mounts, we fetch all countries, and that's stored in state here in all countries. And then we kind of paginate with infinite scroll using a use effect hook down here. We're using the intersection observer API to detect when we've scrolled to the bottom of the viewport. And on each occasion that happens, we will fetch a further 25 country cards to show. And that will all be shown in an animated way using frame of motion here. So we've got animate presence, and then you've got these motion divs. If you can see here, when I click things, you see these nice transitions and movements, and as we go, these fade in. So they're sort of, that's all handled with frame of motion. There. Cool. This is all, the main takeaway from this is that it's all done with AppRouter. And you've got a dynamic route here, so country ID in square brackets there represents, when we click here, this part here. So that is actually a country code, and we're using an API call here, which is fetch country name, fetch country, this one here. And it can take the code, so as part of the API call, we've got this alpha / and then it put the country ID there, along with the query to determine what data we want back, which is here. So yeah, that's generally it. I really enjoyed working on this project. It took a bit of time, but it's good, fun learning exercise. I do recommend doing these sort of things if you want to learn a new framework or an updated version of the framework. So in my case, it was Next 14, and some of the features and things from 13 as well that I wasn't too clued up on. I've learned by doing this. So cool, enjoy yourself and have a great time. Thank you.